So, I don't drink, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are getting me real close to becoming an alcoholic. Hi. Long time, done one of these videos. It's been like 2 months. Video essay just came out yesterday. Yesterday. Came out yesterday's morning. Biggest waste of my time because Pittsburgh undid everything that I said in that one video. Granted, it took me way too long to get done. But free agency's not even done. This is me after day one. Do you guys know my day started? Such a good day. Had a great workout. Talked to some people in my gym, some jokes about free agency. Imagine you guys ended up with Aaron Rodgers. Stuff like that. Went to work, had a good breakfast, saw my lovely coworkers, great mood, cup of coffee. Then Pittsburgh signs Darius Slay. I was like, hey, this could be like a Pat Pete, Joe Hayden 2.0 kind of situation here, mentor. I was going to talk about that today. And then we tendered Jalen Warren. I was like, I could talk about that too. And then Sam Darnold signed with the Seahawks, which is fine. I didn't want him to sign with Pittsburgh anyways because I'm also just a big supporter and fan and believer in Sam Darnold. And I think if he went to Pittsburgh, it'd be the death of his career. So I was like, all right, cool. And then a report came out that Pittsburgh's most likely not bringing back Russell Wilson. And I was like, all right. Seems like we're heading in a certain direction here, right? And then I haven't even talked about the DK Metcalf trade, which I'll talk about. But then I get the notification. Adam Schefter ruined my day. No. All right. Fields is a Jet. You'd think that, by the way I'm talking about him, that he was like a multi-MVP, all-pro, every Super Bowl champion for the Steelers. No. Could have been. We'll never know because Pittsburgh gave him 6 games, and that's it. Against, playoff teams, which he won and looked good and was finding a rhythm at the end. Okay, I'm going to stop holding back. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a fucking clown show of an organization now. I made a whole ass video essay talking about how ownership is the problem. I still believe that. I do. And I don't blame Omar Khan for any of this. I mean, he can't be the one to make someone say yes or no to a deal. I still think the roster that he has built, we'll talk about the DK trade, is relatively a quarterback away from contending. And I think Justin Fields would have actually re-signed. And what a hell of a team to re-sign to, by the way. 2 wide receiver ones. Got a great tight end. Reliable, and I think can be a star running back in Jalen Warren. And now a young and up-and-coming O-line. Well, I don't know. As long as Pat Myers is the offensive line coach, I doubt that'll happen. And the most expensive defense in football. Great situation for a quarterback trying to revive his career to be in. But because of the egos in Pittsburgh, and I have been a massive Mike Tomlin defender, I could have put, in my video essay, I could have put the blame on Tomlin. But Pittsburgh never went back to Fields. Not during, here's the hilarious thing. Fields lost 2 games in a row, and there were rumors that they're going to go to Russ earlier than expected. And then Fields wins. Was it the next 2? I genuinely can't remember because it feels like decades ago. But I know he at least won the last game against the Raiders. And the Jets game comes up, and it was a situation where Pittsburgh was going to play Russ because they were a bad team at the time, and they had another bad team subsequently after that, I believe, in the Giants, and then a bye week. So you could create some momentum and also some confidence within Russell Wilson. So I understand why they did that. But also, your team was looking so good heading into that game. I talked about it in my video essay. Pittsburgh blew out a bad team. It's something that rarely happens in Pittsburgh or with Pittsburgh teams. And, we blow them out. We could have more momentum beating a Jets team and then beating another bad team in the Giants and then going into the bye week and then just helping further establish Justin Fields. You know what? You don't owe Russell Wilson anything in that scenario. I said that he would be the starter. You can be wrong, Mike Tomlin. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to come out there and say, yeah, I made a mistake. Oopsie. It's okay to have an oopsie every once in a while. But, like, it's so I don't care about next season now. Whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones, fucking me at quarterback, I could give less of a fuck. And I'm someone that has supported this team through so much. I'm the same guy who somehow had hope for a Matt Canada offense with Kenny Pickett, who now we have to face twice in the division because he's a Brown now. And this is my, like, somewhat breaking point. I don't care about next season. I never understood, like, I get why fans want teams to be bad, and I understand why teams should be bad in certain scenarios because it's good for your franchise. You know, you get a bad, if you're bad, you get a good draft pick. And, you know, but it sucks to be a fan of a bad team because you got to suffer through that because you still want what's best for them, you know? I don't give a fuck what happens in Pittsburgh next year. I hope that the Browns only win 2 games next season, and it's because they kicked the shit out of the Steelers and Kenny Pickett's fucking running circles around. I hope Justin Fields goes to the Jets and throws for 4,000 yards, runs for 1,000, has a 35 and 5 touchdown interception ratio. I hope the fucking Steelers finish 0-17 at this point with the world's most expensive defense and continuing to waste a defensive player of the year's prime, continuing to waste a fucking phenomenal defensive tackle in Cam Hayward, a phenomenal safety in Micah Fitzpatrick, continue to waste all the primes of these players that they're never going to get these years back for. I hope that Pittsburgh fucking has that happen because maybe it'll wake them up, but it fucking won't. It won't because I talked about it. 1, Art 2 only cares about the fucking business side of things. He only cares about the money. He doesn't give a fuck. I said it perfectly. He doesn't give shit nor dick about what this fucking team does successfully because he knows that the games are going to sell out. Because Pittsburgh fans are going to show up. Whether we're 0-17 or 17-0, Pittsburgh fans are going to show up to the games. So you don't have to worry about losing out monetarily on that. I want Pittsburgh to fucking crash and burn next season, which is crazy for me to say as a fan. But I want Najee, who's rumored to go to the Chargers, which is the perfect fucking landing spot for him. I want him to go run for 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns because he hasn't been able to fucking reach that because Pittsburgh has schemed him so horrifically. But the funny thing is, no matter what happens, Pittsburgh's still going to finish next season at 9-8, and we're going to repeat this fucking cycle. It doesn't matter because here's the funny thing. If Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback, God fucking forbid that fucking cancer. Oh, his teammates like him. He's a cancer in and out of a locker room. I don't need to fucking see my quarterback on the Pat McAfee show every fucking week talking to a bunch of frat dudes about how he fucking thinks injecting bleach into your eyeballs is going to get rid of the fucking flu in 3 days. I don't need that. I want my quarterback in the quarterback room, studying the game, mentoring other players in the locker room, the younger guys, trying to make them better. Like fucking Justin Fields. Justin Fields was a phenomenal. You'd think that I was like family with this dude. Justin Fields was doing great, had the backing of the whole fucking roster, I should say, not the organization. And they said, sit your ass on the bench, even when we're losing 4 games in a row, getting blown out in every fucking one of them. And he sat there and he learned, and he was just a good teammate. And now you want to get in a fucking cancer who is a self-inflicted egomaniac whose family won't even fucking listen to him, won't even talk to him, who every person who's ever had a relationship with the guy is like, yeah, I've got to stay as far away from him as possible. His teammates like him. The New York Jets teammates he's been with for like somewhat of barely a year? Like, why? Oh, Tomlin's a player's coach. You really think Tomlin is going to fucking be able to player's coach his ass to a 45-year-old quarterback who thinks that he's the shit? It's not going to happen. Not even talking about the DK Metcalf trade. A second is fine. I don't mind the second. The more I've slept on it, it's fine. Because it's like the mystery box thing. It's like, oh, you can either have a second-round pick, or you could have DK Metcalf. And someone goes, oh, well, a second-round pick, it could be anything. It could be DK Metcalf. It's like, just take DK Metcalf. That's fine. But he's 27. You give him a 5-year contract. You are betting that DK ages as gracefully as like Devontae Adams did. And you know what's really funny is I kind of expected the Rams with the Cooper Kupp situation. I didn't think anyone was going to trade for him. I figured that what would probably happen is that he would just get cut, which a report came out today that that's most likely what's going to happen. And the funny thing is, if Pittsburgh was able to keep Justin, I thought, you know what? Bringing in Cooper Kupp after the DK trade, I was like, bringing in Cooper Kupp as a slot guy, cool. Then you really do have like a serious push for a Super Bowl. And Pittsburgh really saw Aaron Rodgers on like the downward end of last season and was like, that's our guy. I mean, he hasn't even signed yet, but who else are we going to sign? Skylar Thompson's the only quarterback active on our roster right now. I mean, I could care less who the fuck is. We should have Boswell throwing. I mean, he made the post. Fuck it, I'll throw it. GP and DK are down there somewhere. But, like, we have the foundation of a good team. But, and I genuinely do. I completely understand why Justin left. Justin left because, I mean, he said, I will come to Pittsburgh if I am guaranteed. Like, I will re-sign if I am able, if I am guaranteed the starting spot. You guys couldn't even fucking give him that? Oh, there was also $10 million less guaranteed money. I really doubt that was the selling point. Do you really think about the inconvenience of having to move again after having moved last year, having to learn a brand new system? Poor Justin Fields has been in like 6 different systems in all 6 years of his career. Sorry, 5 years of his career. I'm sure he would have loved some consistency. I'm sure he would have loved to stay in the same city for 2 years so not have to worry about moving and leaving friends behind. You spent a whole year with these people. Like, they're your family to a certain extent. I'm sure he didn't want to do that. But Pittsburgh couldn't even promise him, like, yeah, you'll be our guy. And also, Justin's completely valid if Pittsburgh did tell him that, because he'd be like, why would I trust you? One wrong move, and I'm out the door, or whoever's sitting behind me. This is the funny thing. I don't get where Pittsburgh's operating from right now. Because if Justin's shit, cool. You found out. You have a good draft pick. You can draft the franchise quarterback. If he's good, you have your franchise quarterback. You can extend him. 2-year deal. Like, it makes sense. It's so frustrating. Because we're going to get Troy Fautanu back from injury. We finally have a full season with Mason McCormick as our right guard now that James Daniels is gone. And McCormick basically had 2/3 of a season anyway. We're going to have a full season with Zach Frazier at center. But I'm genuinely worried about how they're going to be fucking performing next season, because it seems like the skill position, or the position coaches, especially offensive line and secondary, because Joey and Broderick took a fucking sidestep last season. I'm worried it's going to happen again to our rookies. We hit on almost every single rookie. We hit on every rookie that was, I would say, expensive in the draft, like a 1, a 2, or a 3, basically. Roman Wilson's still a TBD because he was hurt the entire season, but Pittsburgh hit on every single one, and I would rather, like, you'd think I was standing up here being optimistic, like, yep, there's going to be a great year too. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to take a step forward, because it seems like after a year in the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers system as a rookie, you get worse. Isn't it so funny that coming out of the collegiate system, you get worse after learning the Pittsburgh Steelers fucking system? But again, it goes back to, and I've talked about this in my video essay if you didn't watch it, it goes back to being cheap. Oh, no, I don't want to pay a good fucking coach to coach our O-line, just like the most important part of the offense besides quarterback. It's only the person that protects the most important, or the most important and expensive player on the team. Yeah, why the fuck would I even want to give up a couple extra $1 million for a fucking positional coach? Like, Pittsburgh is cheap. They're old. They are, they're full of themselves. They think they know best. I don't like the direction of this fucking franchise, man. And the saddest shit is I know nothing's going to change, because Steelers fans are too good of fans, and they're going to show up. They're going to support. They're going to buy merch. They're going to do this and this and this and that. And there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing's going to change. Omar Khan is actually building a really good team. I think Omar Khan's a great GM. Fucking go to another team. Go to another team that actually let you do what you want. Most expensive defense in the NFL. Did jack from shit last year. We had interceptions and fumbles. We're not forcing a punt. How are you the most expensive defense in the NFL? You can't force a fucking punt. Like, seriously. And it's the illusion of choice. I said this on my story on Instagram that I made today because I was crashing out like I am right now. I was like, at the end of the day, too, Pittsburgh, because Mike Tomlin is a good coach. And he will always have that above 500 record because he signed a deal with some devil, apparently. So it doesn't even matter. It's cool, 9-8 with Justin Fields or 9-8 with Aaron Rodgers or 9-8 with Daniel Jones. And the funny thing is like, if 9-8 happens with Justin Fields and everyone's like, see, Justin Fields wasn't as good as everyone's expected. If they go 9-8 with Aaron Rodgers, it's like, oh, wow, Aaron Rodgers was able to really bounce back after the year with the Jets. And if they go 9-8 with Daniel Jones, then it's like, oh, wow, look, Mike Tomlin was able to take a team led by Daniel Jones to be 9-8. The media will always just, like, give the benefit of the doubt to the Steelers instead of just being like, hey, wrap it up, get something new going here, because this ain't working. And it's not working. As for the draft now, like, now that we drafted Darius Slay, we signed Darius Slay. I thought we were going to go corner in the first round, but then we signed Darius Slay, so I'm like, I don't know. I still think we should, because Darius Slay would be a really great mentor. That's like the perfect situation where he's the 2, Joey's the 1, and you draft somebody to be the 3, and then just throughout the season you ease them into a better position or like a slot. I don't think Pittsburgh should give up on Beanie Bishop either, but they chose a fucking garbage can of a human being, Cam Sutton, over him. I'm allowed to say garbage can of a human being because Cam Sutton fucking beat his girlfriend because he's a piece of shit who doesn't deserve anything on this fucking earth, because there's no reason for you to fucking treat anybody like that, let alone how you handled that situation. Pittsburgh should be disgusted. I'll say this every time I bring up Cam Sutton, because he doesn't fucking deserve to have any respect from anybody from the shit that he did. So it's embarrassment that Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin gave that man a second chance. For a guy who's a player's coach, he sure loves bringing in fucking nutcases like Cam Sutton. Fucking starting him over Beanie Bishop. Imagine Beanie Bishop is kind of like a very similar situation to Justin Fields. You were up and coming. Yeah, Justin really had a rough start, but Beanie had a rough start, and they started to get his shit going. And then Mike Tomlin was like, "Hey, I owe this guy something." He didn't owe him fucking anything. I owe this guy something, so he's gonna start. And then the defense fell apart after that. But you can't admit you're wrong. You can't say, oh, shit, well, right when I put in Cam Sutton, the defense started arguing with each other, and there was a lot of miscommunication. But if I say that I was wrong, that's kind of embarrassing. Speaking of saying I'm wrong and being embarrassed, remember first press conference after Pittsburgh got their shit rocked in the first round of the playoffs, like it's become the yearly tradition now? And Mike Tomlin said there will be sweeping changes. So you're like, hey, O-line coach is gone. Rumors of Terrell Lawson being gone. I would understand if we kept him. I would also understand that one kind of went either way for me. You think it roster rehaul. Something. Trade incoming. We traded for DK Metcalf, so I guess something did happen. But as for coaching, nothing has changed. We've had people poached from us. I don't know how, because I don't know what teams saw from our team last season. I was like, we want that guy. So I'm so tired. I still got to fucking film a skit today. I got to edit the skit. I haven't even talked about Aaron. I mean, I did. I ranted about Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? If Aaron Rodgers throws for 4,000 yards and 35 touchdowns next season and Pittsburgh wins the playoff game, then fucking cool. Egg on my face. Oh, yeah. You really showed the guy who's never had NFL management expertise or experience in his life. Really showed me guys with 20-plus years in the league. Oh, wow. Ooh. Meanwhile, if he doesn't, again, this is assuming we even sign Aaron Rodgers. Meanwhile, yeah, if that doesn't happen, then it's like, no, this isn't on our fault. This is just, we didn't scheme out and we didn't execute properly, and then we'll hear a fucking Tomlinism. And it's time to – I'm so over it. Give me a fucking 3-14 season. Give me a top pick that I can draft a quarterback with. Then at least I'll have some hope. I don't care about the upcoming season. I don't. They're coming to play the Chargers. I live in L.A. Up until about 12 hours ago, I was hyped for that game. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I might wear the Chargers jersey that I have to that game because I care more about that franchise, how they might get Najee, and that they treat their fucking team right. Justin Herbert is like a franchise quarterback. What's that like? Franchise quarterback? Couldn't tell you. I'm so sad. This is so sad. I never thought I'd see the day I actually don't care about the Steelers. Like, genuinely. I always say it. I always joke about it, especially with like Zach and Japes. Like, there'll be a day, there's a breaking point. I never actually thought I would reach that breaking point. But here it is. And when Pittsburgh signs Aaron Rodgers, you'll get another video. Because I got to crash out somewhere. I will be talking about other free agency stuff, too. Just I'm a Steelers fan first. So that's where I'll talk about that. But I'll do some more uncut, unedited stuff like this. I really enjoy stuff like this. I like the video essays, too, but they just take, like, way too long. And Pittsburgh lost James Daniels to the Dolphins. I mean, we didn't think we were going to get him back anyways. But yeah, no, this has been a dark day in Steelers fandom. Because it's like it's not even just like, oh, we lost Justin Fields. It's just there wasn't a backup plan. And the backup plan was Aaron Rodgers, who had Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams last season and couldn't do shit from dick with that. He had Breece Hall. Do you realize the downgrade Aaron Rodgers is going to be going if he actually does come here? And that's the good option that's left. Keep that in mind. Now, if Pittsburgh pulls out a fucking Hall of Fame trade for a quarterback that's like no one expected to be shopped, and then I'm like, oh, there's something, then cool, I'll eat my words because I can do that because I don't fucking have the ego issues that the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and coaching staff has. I'm never getting invited to a Steelers game by the organization after this video. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. But, yeah, like, unless something, like, crazy happens that makes me eat my words, cool, I'll eat my words. I'll eat a big old bowl of word soup. But I don't see that happening because nothing has shown me that the trajectory of this team is going to change. I mean, I'm going to keep referencing the video essay I made because there's a lot of good points that I'll probably keep referencing for the next year. But Philadelphia had a Super Bowl winning season. 2 seasons later, shit hit the fan. They were like, let's redo this. And everyone thought they were nuts. And since then, they went to 2 Super Bowls and they won one of them. Pittsburgh hasn't even been to a Super Bowl in 2010. So it'll be 15 years this year. No, it is 15 years this year. They haven't been to a Super Bowl in 15 years. Because we don't blow things up here. Oh, we don't. No, we stay strong. We like our winning seasons. I don't care anymore. Who fuck cares? Who cares? Mike Tomlin's going to be in the Hall of Fame no matter what. TJ Watt's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Cam Hayward probably going to be in the Hall of Fame at this point. I'm so tired. And I still got to go film a skit about free agency. So that'll be tomorrow's video, the free agency recap. I was going to do the DK video. I'm sorry, I was at Disneyland yesterday. That's another thing. You know how crazy it is to be at the happiest place on earth and get a notification that makes it the most depressing place on earth? That's what the DK Metcalf trade did to me, because when I found out how much we were paying him, I went from like, oh, okay, to like, oh. I was standing in line at the Indiana Jones ride. But that's why I wasn't able to get the DK video out today. But now the DK video is probably going to get pushed to Wednesday. Because I have to do the free agency video tomorrow, and then I got a bunch of videos I've had written, but I just haven't filmed yet. So I got a busy ass week. But hey, I don't even have any. I was gonna try and fake some confidence for the Steelers the upcoming season, but I don't care. I don't. If I'm every Steelers player, I'm protesting this season. Poor DK. DK got traded to such a shit situation, but whatever. Can't wait to see who the fucking Steelers quarterback. I was really actually hoping that we would get the notification sometime while I was recording this about who our quarterback would be, but no. The suffering they just want to keep torturing me as long as fucking possible. And then when it comes out that we somehow draft a quarterback in the first round of the NFL draft, then that's cool. That's just one more inch closer to the top of my roof. I'm curious your guys' thoughts on the Steelers stuff, though. Yeah. Makes me even happier that I didn't spend so much time on, because you guys, the script was so long for the video essay, and I left out so many stats, because halfway through recording, I was like, no one's going to care. No matter what stats I pull up, people have their minds made up on Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, everything. It doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot Kirk Cousins is still an option. Please, Pittsburgh, don't do that. I'm tired. I have to go edit this, or not even edit. I just got to render it, and I got to go film and pain as a Steelers fan. Absolute fucking pain. Okay. This is also going to be the depression robe from now on, just letting you guys know. So anytime something sad happens, we're just going to wear this. You guys know how we end these.